What is going on, my dudes? Dudette is showing you that's an Serpentarium. I'm just hanging out with my my spotted python right now. She's doing well, actually recovered well from her eggs. I'll talk about that in a separate video. But today we're actually going to be talking about reclassification of snake species. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is snakes in the Antaresia group were reclassified the other day, and it got me thinking about what I think about reclassification. So I thought I'd just talk a little bit about that. The problem is when stuff gets reclassified, people think there's a green light then to go ahead and mesh things together. So for example, a few years ago, the Brooks king snakes, the Florida king snakes, and the chain king snakes were all classified as just Florida kings, and that's still the case now. But if you look at them, they look very different from each other. And what happened then is, over a couple of years or whatever, people started breeding them together more and more and more and more. And you can't really find any true forms of any of them. I know people are going to argue and say, oh yeah, well, they're classed as the same thing, so you can't really argue that they are true forms on their own, and they're not true forms together and stuff like that. But the issue is, what happens in 5-10 years time when they're classed as different things again? What happens then? Well, then you don't have anything, do you? Because they've all been meshed together. Once you mesh things together like that, you can't undo it. So it's worth just bearing that in mind. Once you've messed up the line, that's it. Then it's tough. There's no reset button on there, especially for the Antaresia stuff, because you can't import any of that out of Australia, because nothing can be imported from Australia. So once the bloodlines are messed up, they're messed up, and that's the end of it then. It's not so bad with the American stuff, because at least the Americans can recover their lines to some extent, at least. But over here, we're isolated over here. No one's gonna import any Brooks Kings from America, because it's just not financially worth it. It'll cost a fortune, and you'll never get that money back. Which is kind of sad, but it's the truth. People are not gonna spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds importing stuff if it's just lost cash. So once we interbreed things, or it's not even interbreeding for those types of reclassifications, but once we obey those reclassifications and ignore the old classifications, and we mash them together, it's too late. Everything's lost then, isn't it? Because you can't undo it. So yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on it. Please don't rush out and start breeding, your Stimpsons, your Children's, etc. Because once you've done it, there's no reset button on it. So please think twice about doing stuff like that. But yeah, that'll be it for today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed seeing my ugly mug and this gorgeous spotted python. If you're new around here, make sure you subscribe. Comment down below what your thoughts are on reclassification. And if you've made it this far, comment pizza as well, so I know that you've made it to the end of the video. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.